Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to Let's Play God Hand. We've got one level left in stage 1, and it's a boss fight.
Finally, a boss fight.
This little huevon is the God Hand. Oh, that's rich. A la mierda.
What's the matter? You on a tight budget, big guy?
You know what? I'm getting a bit hungry, and a little huevon sounds like it would hit the spot.
You need to feed your brain, not your ass.
I hope you fight half as good as you talk, cabron.
Find out for yourself.
Yeah! I don't think you realize what you're getting yourself into, pendejo!
Newsflash, big guy. You can wax on, wax off all you like. I'm still kicking your ass.
Excuse me, Elvis. You go ruin your room. Make sure you grab this chest because it's got a technique in it called Yes Man Kablam. It is one of the best techniques in the game because it's got this special property called Heat Up. And Heat Up is amazing. Moves with Heat Up raise your tension bar, gives you more God Hand meter to work with. So I'm gonna pop God Hand, and I'm just gonna pound away on Elvis for a second, and by the end of this, he should either be dizzy or he should be getting close to dizzy. And then I can wind up a Yes Man Kablam because it's really slow. This is the only downside. Look at my tension go up. I almost have God Hand back. Oh my god, it's so good. It's fantastic. So now I have one roulette orb to work with and a gold card in the corners, so I can use Ball Buster. Where is it? I'll knock him down, then I can get another Yes Man Kablam when he gets up, and then go and pop God Hand again, because I should have it back. And then I'll go grab the card, and we'll have a pretty honest fight from then on out, because I want to leave this fight with both orbs filled up. Another pummel. Oh, it's so... Like, proper resource management is a game in its own right, a really kind of neat one, and it can make aspects of the game really much easier.
Great.
So now that we're done smacking Elvis around, he's still going to be pretty easy. He hits like a truck, and he's quite a bit faster than he looks, but up dodges will avoid a lot of this really dangerous stuff reliably. You gotta watch out for that. That's an escapable grab. The butt stomp is the most dangerous thing he does, especially on level die. It's on the periphery of what you can react to. Let's see, it's a projectile. He's got a E Honda style sumo headbutt. Got the butt stomp. He's got really long combos that, again, you can up dodge. He can blow a smoke screen out with a skip. There we go. Speak of the devil. He actually has a lot of moves, but not overly difficult for a first boss. Just kind of dipping our toes in the water, which makes him fine first boss fight.
Get ready, cause I'm really gonna give it to you! Hey, you're the big nice hero, right? How about giving me a hand here?
Huh?
Come on, come on, come on!
Oh, I'll help you out all right.
A la mierda! He really gave it to me, all right.
See you around, fat boy.
There we go, and that's Elvis 1. The gold bonus you get here depends mainly on how many continues you use in the stage. No deaths is worth 50,000. I don't remember what the other tiers are. I think you get nothing at 15, and you also get penalized 3,000 gold per civilian you fail to save.
He's late.
Why must fat and slow always apply to Elvis?
He probably stopped to feed that fat face of his.
Perdóname, I gotta be hungry and could barely move. You know, if some people hadn't have passed by, I would have starved.
You eat enough of that filthy meat for us all. Sure explains your breath.
Don't act like you hate eating human, chica. My breath is minty fresh.
Asshole! Oh, get away from me!
Elvis, what happened?
See, boss, that's definitely 100% pure God hand.
Elvis, can you capture him alive?
Me? Catch that crazy gringo? Nah, you first, boss.
I'll do it. This guy sounds like fun.
No way, he's mine!
Damn it! Make up your mind! You can go. Oh, but don't you kill him. I want to have some fun with him first.
At last our time has come. We shall dispose of this so-called savior and rain despair upon humankind.
Alright, before we move on to stage 2, let me go grab a little bit of water real quick. I've been recording stuff all day. So I'll be right back. Great, nice and hydrated, ready to go into stage 2. Just as soon as we finish up a little shopping trip, because new things have become available at the shop. Mainly, this gold plate here for 15,000 gold. It gives you an extra roulette orb. We can go ahead and pick up a couple of new techniques too. Mainly upgrades. We'll also grab knee strike, and I think I saw chin music up there, which is a nice multi-hitting move, decent DPS. I really like having multi-hitting moves in my main string, because of the way the stun or dizzy system works. How quickly an enemy becomes dizzy doesn't depend on how much damage they take so much as how many hits they take. So fast multi-hitting moves at that are really, really good for causing dizzy quicker. Now we can go ahead and start up stage 2, Demons Playing with Fire. 2-1 rather.
Hey! Olivia!
Oh, Jean, you're back.
Don't you're back me! I just about died because of you!
But the God Hand saved you, didn't it?
It's strong, but it's a pain in the ass. You should try it for a while.
Let's axe it!
Nice one.
You want to keep it, huh? Well, I've heard rumors that people who go to town never come back.
Let me guess. You want me to check it out?
Ah, you volunteer.
You knew I would. Sounds right up my alley.
Well then, time to get going, champ.
I should have never helped that psycho nutcase! Ugh!
Alright, let's pull this guy over and show something kind of cool off. What I want to do is a technique called a dodge cancel in order to spam a high sidekick over and over. So first, let me just break his guard, thank you, and 2, 3, get 3 reps in. The timing for that is quite strict, but you can do it as many times as you please if you have the rhythm down. In fact, I'll show how small that window is with this enemy. I was really only doing the input a few frames late there and it didn't come out, so yeah, you have to be a bit precise with the timing for that. In order for that to work, you need the high sidekick to land as a counter hit so that it launches the enemy. And just a side note, when you hit an enemy who is dizzy or guard broken, that will also count as a counter hit state, by the way. You also need to be near a wall in order to repeatedly do that. What you're doing is you're repeatedly canceling the end of the high sidekick animation with an up dodge, the one where Gene sways forward a little bit. Because that dodge happens to be really fast and it keeps you stationary. Is that short uppercut? Nah, it's not worth it. I always confuse the short uppercut for the charge punch. Short uppercut 2, I think, is actually pretty decent for a mid-combo move. So high sidekick is a particularly good move to use with a dodge cancel because of its properties, but the vast majority of techniques can be dodge canceled. Most moves can be canceled out of. Like you'll see against this enemy, and you've been seeing me do it repeatedly throughout the LP, probably noticed. Whenever I'm facing one enemy or an enemy isolated from his group, I'm usually fishing for a guard break, and I do that with a specific oh nice 3-orb card with a specific sequence. It's punch punch, guard break, up dodge, just repetitions of that over and over. The guard break's recovery animation is slow, so I am canceling that recovery with the up dodge, so I can go right back into the fast part of the combo, the jabs and the straights. And that covers such a good suite of options because enemies really can only do a couple of things faced with that. They do like one of 3, maybe 4 possible things. One is they dodge backwards, but that doesn't really affect the flow of combat. Oh, yeah, the guy who throws his mohawk. I forgot about him. I forgot we meet him this early. And then it will eventually grow back. So they can do one of 3 things, really. They'll either do nothing, they'll just stand and take the hits, in which case they just eat a couple of jabs and straights over and over. They'll eventually start blocking, in which case they will get guard broken sooner or later because I'm not hitting them enough times to cause them to parry. Like, you know how if you hit an enemy several times in a row, eventually they'll stop blocking and parry you and counterattack off of the parry. But because it's one jab and one straight, that's not enough hits to trigger that. So you go 1-2 guard break. Or the third thing they can do is they will dodge the guard break, like with their own little up dodge animation. They'll dodge the guard break and they'll start a counterattack up. If their counterattack is slow, I start the next repetition with a jab. And that jab is so fast that it lands as a counter hit. And if their counterattack is fast, I can just continue with another up dodge. I can just keep stringing the up dodges together and avoid it. So it covers like this really wonderful wide variety of options that enemies can do against you one-on-one. It's yet another reason why I keep saying one of the hard parts of the game is management of crowds. One-on-one, enemies still can get pretty dangerous. They've such big movesets that you have to memorize so you don't get hooked by something random. But for the most part, like one-on-one combat, once you get good with dodge canceling, you can reduce it down to a couple of options. And that sequence that I do, like this, the guard break dodge cancel sequence, just covers so much of what enemies can do against you. And unlike the high sidekick dodge cancels, that's not hard to do at all. It doesn't require any precise timing. You just have to understand that you can dodge to cancel out of just about any one of your attacks. Once you're familiar with that, like, it's technically an advanced technique, but really it's only hard to apply to a couple of moves. Mainly moves with slow startup animations. It doesn't matter how fast or slow the recovery animation is. So yeah, very, very versatile, quote-unquote, advanced technique there. Oh, whoops. Come on, get out of that. I'm going to take the barrel up here and throw at the weapon-wielding elite over here. I think this is the first time we've seen a guy with a spiked club. Wait, did we fight? Wait, no. Did the guy in the first fairy challenge have the spiked club? I don't remember. Either way, this is why I say the enemies with weapons are so much easier. A big part of what makes God Hand difficult is that enemies have huge movesets. Much bigger in arsenal than what you would find in a typical action game. So it's a lot of things to have to react to and anticipate. But when enemies just have one weapon, their movesets get reduced dramatically. And it's also really easy to counter hit them. So it's not as much to react to and easy counter hits. I can jump down there, but I can't remember if I get ambushed from two different sides, so I'll just go around the slightly longer way. Oh, I'm gonna have to waste a little bit of the Spike Club's durability. Only a little bit, though. This is what I was anticipating with the club, though. This little ambush with the elite and the lady. Who's one of, like, 5 new enemy types we've already seen in 2-1. Most of the new enemy types are going to wind up being either new demons or just palette swaps. Gold coin and an orange. Other than that, important. Most of them wind up being palette swaps, so it's not great for visual variety. But every time you run into one of these new enemy types with a new palette, or some new, like, little accessory or new design element, their movesets are very, very different from one another. So that's it for 2-1. 2-1 and 2-2 are both pretty short stages, so we'll just string them back to back. You know what, let me grab this and clear some of these guys out so they don't become a problem. The main gimmick of 2-2 are the fuses that are eventually going to blow up the dynamite in the center of the square and blast off the villager there. It's totally optional whether or not you save him. You get, what is it, Daisy Cutter, I think? I think it's a roulette technique you get from him if you save him, so it's worth going out of your way for. Plus, it's 3,000 extra gold that you get. What you have to watch is when you stomp out the fuses, they can be reignited by enemies with torches, and new enemies with torches will spawn in periodically until you're finished the arena. But you can pick the torches up. They're low durability weapons, but might as well use them and prevent enemies from picking them up and going around relighting the fuses. Oh, that's the guy from before. The guy who got bit by the poison chihuahua in stage 1. Or at least it's his model? Not sure if it's supposed to be the same guy. Okay, so that is Daisy Cutter. Now remember to use that. It's not one I use super often. Could have sworn there was more around here. There is another zone ahead of this, but I don't think it's populated by anything but crates and a fairy challenge, I want to say. This will be fairy challenge number 3. It's kind of a pain in the ass. We skipped the Street Fighter style destroy the car one back in stage 1. I can't remember where. This one's worth 20,000 gold though, so I don't exactly want to skip it. Where's the God Hand? Well, one God Hand is in possession of Jean here, and one is in the possession of the Four Devas. Do I want to do this fairy challenge? Yeah, fuck, yeah. It's much harder than the first one. It's the same objective, but with different enemies in a different arena, so... my game plan for this one is going to be to fish for counter hits, create separation as much as possible, and target down the whippers. Oh, that's so perfect! Ring out! Okay, that's why I want counter hits. Counter hits or guard breaks, either one works. So, any enemy plus one of the enemies with a whip is bad. That combination is always bad. What's even worse is when you fight an enemy and 2 whippers. Because they occupy that mid-range space really fucking well. So separation's kind of important. Doesn't help that the blade fatties are actually really fast. It's becoming a theme, is enemies that don't look very mobile ending up being fast as all hell. They have that big sumo headbutt, so they just clear the whole arena in no time. Plus, they have a bunch of different short hops that cover different ranges, and it's just... This mission's a fucking nightmare. It can be. I got lucky and got that guard break early on. So now... This should be the hard part, but with God Hand, this is gonna be a lot easier. Oh! That couldn't have ended more perfectly. That was not my plan, but hell yeah. I thought only the elite was gonna get caught by the charged uppercut. Whew. I've never had that fairy challenge go that smoothly. Holy shit. Usually that one's a complete nightmare, because the first wave with the 2 whip enemies and the second wave with elites and a whip enemy. Fuck. Oh, I'm so happy. Gotta love it when things go according to plan, right? Ooh, this is not. Whew. That's a failure to create separation. And now it's just an elite. One elite by himself is no problem. Not very dangerous. Sometimes you have to watch when they counter your guard breaks. These enemies happen to have a pretty nasty counter. Because they can go either into the uppercut or into the 4 or 5 hit combo that ends with a roundhouse. When enemies have options like that, it becomes a little more challenging. But to play it safe, you could still just keep up dodging. Whew, okay. That's it for a smooth 2-2. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take it easy. Have a good one.